Most multiplayer games are either intense co-op sessions where you have to rely on others to survive, or vicious competitive battles where the best players feel like gods. Evolve manages to not only capture both elements within a single game, but within each and every match. There's a meticulousness, balance, and thrill with Evolve that makes it hard to pull away from.
Alright, let's do this!
Regardless of the chosen mode, the game is always about 4 hunters versus 1 monster. Each hunter is a different class, and all of the classes feel absolutely vital. The trapper is responsible for tracking and pinning the beast down, the medic primarily heals, the support shields others and offers additional damage, and the assault can shred through the monster's health. If one player isn't performing well, the entire thing falls apart. Above all else, Evolve demands coordination. Instead of capably fulfilling a single role, the monster spins many plates at once. It requires sneaking around the map looking for wildlife to consume, since eating builds armor and gets you closer to the next level of strength. Whichever monster you play as, the feeling is the same. Evolve expertly encapsulates the sensation of being hunted. Scrambling to find food as hunters constantly trail behind you is anxiety-inducing. So stressful, in fact, that even escaping a skirmish alive is a momentous victory. Surviving until level 3, the maximum level, is liberating since you finally have the upper hand. The switch from prey to predator is one of the most utterly satisfying things the game has to offer. Although the dynamic between the hunters and the monster is fascinating on its own, small nuances are what really make Evolve so great. The medic's primary job may be to heal, but the class has other valuable tools as well. Val, the first medic you unlock, can slow monsters with a tranquilizer gun and create weak points with an armor-piercing sniper rifle. Balancing between healing and creating an advantageous situation makes the medic feel like much more than a one-note class. The other 3 classes have equally interesting wrinkles that suck you in very quickly.
He got nothing to be afraid of. He fucking shook me down. Cost me 50 keys to learn that lesson.
Even better, each class has 3 completely different characters to choose from. Only one is available at the start, and the others are unlocked by proficiently using skills from previous characters. For instance, to unlock Hyde, the second assault class, you have to do a certain amount of damage with each of Markov's weapons. It's meant to encourage players to use every aspect of their class, but it ends up being rather annoying. Oftentimes, you'll find yourself doing the same repetitive tasks just to rank up, which detracts from the natural flow of the game. Thankfully, account progression, which happens no matter who you're playing as, is handled more smoothly. You earn perks for both monsters and hunters through normal activities such as completing matches, winning, and playing well. Every character that we've played drastically changed how we approach the class. Maggie, the first available trapper, relies on an AI-controlled pet named Daisy to find the monster. Yet Griffin, the second trapper, has to manually place sound spikes that pick up noise within a certain radius. It's more difficult placing the sound spikes than it is following Daisy, but the payoff is that you can cover the vast majority of the map. The variation between Maggie and Griffin is one small example. Every character is so distinct amongst all of the classes that unlocking a new one is an enticing prospect, making it easy to keep playing.
Train gun ready!
The 3 monsters also have pronounced differences. The Goliath is a hulking savage that's deadly up close. The Kraken can fire pillars of lightning at a distance, and the Wraith is a stealthy glass cannon. Each monster looks and sounds absolutely menacing. The guttural roar of the Goliath or the piercing shriek of the Kraken goes a long way in shaping their identities. For as excellent as the included 3 monsters are, it's hard not to wish there were 1 or 2 more. Considering there are 12 hunters to unlock, the 3 monsters seem sparse by comparison. The monsters may be much more involved, but with only 3, we're starting to feel like we know how each of them will behave during any given game. Outside of regular hunts, Evolve has 3 other modes. Nest requires hunters to destroy 6 monster eggs at random locations. Rescue scatters around injured colonists that need to be saved, and Defend is a survival-style mode where 2 power generators must be protected. Certain characters are better for specific modes, such as how Hyde's flamethrower is great at destroying eggs in Nest. The problem is that because the hunter-monster dynamic is still so prevalent in each of the modes, none of them are that wildly different. Whether you're saving colonists or destroying eggs, the monster is still trying to kill the hunters, and the hunters still need to work together. The chase may be gone, but the actual battles are extremely similar, preventing any of the additional modes from standing out. Evacuation suffers a similar fate. Consisting of a set of matches, each having a different map and mode, Evacuation adds variables depending on whether you win or lose. If the monster destroys a power plant during one match, then toxic gas is released during a subsequent match that damages the hunters. These variables are certainly not insignificant, but they also don't add enough to remain engaging for long. There are slight twists on otherwise standard game types. At least Sheer, the world where Evolve is set, feels alive and dangerous. The various flora and fauna amount to much more than just background decorations. Many creatures and carnivorous plants can catch lone hunters or even monsters off guard and kill them surprisingly quickly. As a result, maps are treacherous obstacles in their own right that make every game that much more exciting.
Like that?
Also adding flavor are the interactions between characters, the most memorable of which happen when you're dropping into a map. Hearing Maggie and Val complain about Hank's poor cooking, or Hyde lamenting the fact that he lost a card game to a robot, makes those characters more human. While the dialogue isn't truly exceptional, it's humorous and well written enough to become endearing. Unfortunately, some of the quips made during actual matches repeat so often that it is grating.
Oh yeah, nothing like a cookout to wash away the taste of a standard synth paste rash. Any requests?
Evolve may not be as fleshed out as other multiplayer shooters, but it's still one of those rare games that chases after something different and actually succeeds. It's built for incredible player-driven stories when you just barely triumph over a level 3 monster or when you wipe out a group of hunters within a few minutes. Our biggest fear going into Evolve was that it would only be fun in short bursts, but every time we play, the session lasts for hours. Even now, there's still so many things we want to get better at and experiment with. Needless to say, we're going to be hunting on Sheer for the foreseeable future.